Hi guys, this is the Blockchain Marketing channel. My name is Daria Volkova and I'm happy to have such great person, great guest today, Maria Eneva-Olms. She's the founder of the EkoLance project. Maria, hello.
Hi, Daria. It's great to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you for your time and thank you for your sharing your future sharing of your knowledge with our audience because I think it will be very valuable for followers of the blockchain marketing channel and all audience.
I like speaking about marketing. So I'm not a marketing person, but I like speaking about marketing.
Great. I hope it will be great conversation. Can you please describe your background? Can you please describe yourself?
Of course. So first of all, I originally come from Bulgaria, but now I live in Germany for so many years. So now I'm in Germany. I have a background in business and finance. So this is also what I studied. And after my master's in finance, I went into the financial services industry and worked for 8 years as a consultant for banks and insurance companies. And at some point, where this word Bitcoin became so famous, I started hearing about it all the time, and I was kind of thinking, okay, this is too complicated. I don't really understand it. And then I heard from one of my colleagues that he's investing in Bitcoin and that he's trading with Bitcoin. And I got a bit jealous, and I was like, if he can do it, I can do it. And I have to, start reading about it. And so this is actually also how my blockchain journey started. It was around 2018, pure based on my interest in investing in cryptocurrencies. Yeah, so first I started actually investing in not in Bitcoin, but in XRP. That was the first currency I invested in. And then after that in Bitcoin. And then I started, educating myself alone on the different cryptocurrencies and how they work and their business cases. And around 2021, beginning of 2021, I took a program from the Frankfurt School of Finance. They have a great blockchain center with different educational programs, also executive programs on blockchain. And I participated in the DLT Talents program where I really dig into blockchain, the technology, the use cases. And I would say that this is where my actual blockchain journey started. I started writing articles about different topics, mainly focused on investing because this was still my passion. It's still my passion. Investing has always been my passion, and investing in cryptocurrencies as well. And this was how I started, with writing articles. I started my own YouTube channel. And then slowly, I also got like a larger network of people in this community. And then I transferred into working in blockchain by starting my own company. And this is in a nutshell where I come from, what's my background, and how I got into blockchain.
Can you talk about your project, about EkoLance? So what is it? What its main idea and what audience you target?
EkoLance is a training and recruitment company for everyone that wants to work in blockchain. So what we do is that we offer free blockchain educational programs on very specific professions. So for example, for people who want to be marketers in Web3, who want to be content creators, who want to be developers. Now we have a program for smart contract auditors. So for everyone that wants to work in blockchain and wants to find like a linear path to education and how to get into this space and work in this space, we are the platform for this. So you can come do these trainings for free. And then during the trainings, we also connect you to companies and potential employers, because these corporate partners that we have, they want to hire people. They want to attract talent. They want to also work with, ambitious people, professionals in the blockchain space. So we do projects with them, workshops with our corporate partners. And this is how our trainees can gather some experience, their first blockchain experience, and then eventually find a job. So this is how EkoLance works. Our target audience is mainly people from emerging countries. So we educate we started in last year, 2022, we started educating people mainly from the African continent. It is because we discovered that there is no direct connection between professionals from the African continent and, let's say, European companies or American companies. It's very hard for people from Africa to go to a conference in Europe or in America, and meet employers. So this is why we decided, okay, we want to provide this direct link. And this year we're expanding to new emerging economies such as Turkey. For the first quarter of 2023, we have Turkey on the map. And then we're going to go into Eastern Europe as well as the LATAM region, which is planned for later this year. So basically, this is our target group with ambitious young people that want to work in the blockchain space. They have some experience in the Web2 space. For example, they're social media marketers or content creators or developers in the Web2 space, and they want to transition into Web3. And on the other hand, of course, are our corporate target clients. These are corporations, mostly blockchain companies. So let's say companies that develop a technology on a blockchain, also Metaverse companies that want to create something in the Metaverse, but also blockchain infrastructure companies, as well as blockchain security companies. So right now, for example, with the smart contract audit program, our corporate clients are exactly companies that audit smart contracts and provide security solutions for smart contracts.
There are Germany companies or all over Europe?
Actually, all over Europe. Right now, we have mainly European clients, but of course, we're open to clients from all over the world.
I saw you're building your Metaverse space. Can you describe it? For what you are doing this?
Well, for what? It's an interesting question because we were a bit, when we were thinking, okay, should we go into this Metaverse path or not? So, first of all, the Metaverse is a buzzword, right? So everyone doing something in the Metaverse is great for marketing. So first of all, so it attracts a lot of attention, a lot of following, a lot of, even, you have read it and this caught your attention. So I would suggest if you have the opportunity to do something in the Metaverse as a company, do it because it's good for marketing, but it's also good for exploring your options. So I don't want to be the person that says, yeah, the Metaverse is the future, because we don't know that yet, right? The Metaverse is still a very young space. It's still a space that's developing. So we don't know what will happen. And we want to have this chance open for us to have a space in the Metaverse and be able to do business in the Metaverse and educate in the Metaverse. So what we're basically doing is with our corporate partner, Metagame Hub DAO, we're building a hub in the Metaverse where we can educate people. So use the Metaverse as a space to get people as avatars, and educate them. And also to attract companies to join the Metaverse and recruit directly in the Metaverse. So what would be the benefit of something like this? It is that in the Metaverse, you have certain options that you don't have in the Web2 world. So for example, I can see in the Metaverse who has come to my space, who has done something in this space. I can track everything, and it's anonymous. So I don't really have the profile of the picture of the person, but I have their wallet. So we can do a lot of transactions with them. For example, we can implement a loyalty system where someone who is regular coming to our space, doing trainings, participating in events, they can get like, let's say, an airdrop or some wearable for the Metaverse, and this creates your profile in the Metaverse in a way that employers can track you and see, okay, this person was a regular in the Metaverse. They really know about it. They have experience in it. This is an interesting person to hire, So these are some opportunities that you don't necessarily have in the Web2 world. And also in the Metaverse, we believe that in the future, you have great experiences for training as well. Because let's face it, it's very hard in the Web2 world to catch the attention of people for a long time. We have this methodology of sitting in front of a screen, listening to a lecture, maybe doing a workshop, but it kind of gets some boring,
Yeah,
after maybe
it's
30
quite
minutes.
boring. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're looking for ways to make it more interactive, to make it more fun. So I think the metaverse could offer in the future very interesting ways to make it more fun, make it like a game, or if you have your avatar, you can change your clothes, you can change your look, you can run around, do more interesting things than just sitting in front of a Zoom screen and getting a lecture. So I think these opportunities of making it more interactive and interesting for learners is an interesting aspect of the metaverse to explore.
My next question about B2B engaging of clients. So how can you how you attract your B2B clients?
Okay, so here maybe we can speak about sales and marketing.
Okay, let's speak.
So I'm a firm believer that content creation is a big driver of trust. And this is for me the first step of attracting clients, trust. They have to trust you to work with you. So if they see a track record of creating high value content, of you speaking with, influencers, bloggers, going to conferences, working with other companies, seeing testimonials, seeing, your track record of training, you build trust in this way. But this is all about the content creation. You have to create this content to show what you're actually doing and showcase it. So this is the first step, to gain the trust of the companies. So very often when I speak to a company, let's say from my perspective, I'm cold calling them, like writing them on LinkedIn and saying, hey, I'm this person and do you want to work together? They're like, oh, I know EkoLance, I follow you on LinkedIn. And I'm like, oh, really?
Yeah, it's personal branding. Yeah.
Yeah. So this really helps content creation and trying to just in German, and I think in English you say do good and talk about it. So we work so much, if you have a startup, you work so much, but you also have to talk about it so people are aware of that. Because if you just sit in a room working 20 hours a day and you're not talking about it,
Yeah,
people are not really
to
gonna
share your
know.
story. Yeah, to share your
Yeah.
story with the subscribers, with audience.
Yeah, exactly. So the first, as I said, is this content creation and creating trust, even with companies that are not yet your clients. And then the next step is getting to them. So either through our network of companies that we already work with, we ask them, okay, who do you think could be another potential company that might be interested? Or through our investors network, we have a VC investor who is also very helpful in getting connections for us, or through LinkedIn cold calling. We go on LinkedIn, we look for companies that are currently hiring, and then we just contact them. And of course, when you contact them, the first thing they do is check you out on the internet. They check your website, they check your social media, how many followers you have, how's your activity. And that's why it's so important to create good content so they can see that you're consistent, that you're a high quality company, that you have active followers. And I think this is a whole process of marketing and sales that everyone should work on as a company to be successful in the end.
How do you manage all this, and what difficulties you meet on your way in building your company?
Okay, so I think this is one of the most difficult topics, if I have to be honest, especially when because you're a startup, right? So we're a startup, and finding product market fit is one of the most difficult things. So we have a product now that we're managing to sell and generate revenue with, but I'm sure that this will not be the only product. So we're still looking for additional products that we can sell. And the thing I can tell about it is a lot of like brainstorming, strategizing, and trial and error. It's like in the beginning, I was like, okay, if I write like a sales deck for something that we think is a product and sell it to a company, and they ignore me and they say no, I feel bad. But at the same time, I know that, okay, maybe this is not the right product. Maybe we have to tweak it a little bit and change the price, or, change the features of the product. And then it's constant trial and error. We're changing our product description constantly to find the perfect fit. Because it's also important to not only have a product, but also have a scalable product.
Yes.
And it's a
yes.
long process. Yeah, it's a long process. We're still not there, I would say. We have a product we're selling, but it's not as scalable as I wish it is, or it should be. So we're still working on this. And in my experience, just a lot of brainstorming and trying out, speaking to clients also, a lot of speaking to clients, industry experts, and try to find what the market is currently looking for.
Do you use some product marketing frameworks in your work?
No, actually we don't. I know maybe it sounds very unprofessional, but yeah, it's a lot of, or maybe it's a framework, I don't know. So I'm trying to have a lot of conversations with clients and potential clients and just ask them what are their goals for this year and what are their pain points. And then I'm thinking with the resources that we have and with the product that we currently have, how can we solve this? And this is the way we develop a potential product. But then it's not really like a framework that I read somewhere about, or that we're like implementing really.
I think it's you all what you're doing. It's about customer journey map. When client saw you on LinkedIn, for example, and get acquainted with you at first time, and when he or she became your client as a B2C or B2B. So I think it's like customer journey map, but you don't use this like framework.
Term.
Yeah, this term.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And what about market situation? How do you feel about this beer market?
I don't feel good about it.
As an investor.
Well, we have to see it from several perspectives. So first of all, if you're a new company, a young company that needs capital, and if you're a VC funded and you're in for a long product development process where you're not going to generate revenue and you need funds to build your product, then it's not a good situation because, of course, a lot of investors are not investing or are being very picky. The valuations are lower than normally. And you have to just invest so much more time in talking to investors than it was, let's say, 2 years ago. So from this perspective, it's not a great situation. We are lucky that we already had some VC funding secured last year. And also we are already generating revenue. So we can be sustainable in this way. But of course, if we now decide, okay, we want to have like a heavy investment in product development, this is not going to be possible because then we will new fresh capital. And investing the time in securing this new fresh capital would be, I think, a killer for us right now. Because as I said, you just need so much more time to invest. And then this time cannot be invested maybe in revenue generation or something else that we're also needing right now. So from this perspective, the market, of course, is not very good. The other perspective, finding clients, of course, it's also difficult because a lot of companies have lower budgets for marketing, recruitment, event management,
education.
Education. So I would say that a lot of businesses in this sector would be struggling to find clients, and also the time invested in finding clients is very intensive. You have to invest more time in finding clients. You have to have more conversations. You have to invest more time in persuading them or explaining why they need your product maybe. So it's a tough market currently, definitely. And that's why I'm saying that it's also so important to define a good product that is really solving a problem for them now, and not stick to something that you thought would solve a problem last year. So look at the problems this year. And I can give an example that we're speaking to a client that, last year they heavily invested in education, and that would have been the perfect case for us. But this year, they want to invest in revenue generation through their increasing the number of users they have. So actually, they need help with marketing. So now I wouldn't sell education to them. I'm trying to sell them marketing services, because we already have a large community that can help them with their marketing. So, like trying to find ways how to customize your product to the market situation. This is extremely important because this current market situation is very different than what we had in the beginning of last year.
Do you have some predictions about this bear market, when it ends or something else?
No, I don't. I don't know. Of course, everyone's hoping the sooner the better, but I don't know because it's a complex topic. It's not only about cryptocurrencies and all the bad events in the cryptocurrency industry that happened in the past months, and the reputation that now the crypto industry has. It's also about the global economic situation, which is also not super great. So I think that it's going to be a longer process, probably. I am preparing for me and for EkoLance to have a very tough year, 2023. So this is just my expectation. And let's hope that 2024 will be better. But I don't know, I think no one really knows.
But I think it's time to build and time to prepare for the next stage of Web3 and cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, of course. And if you have the funds to build, the opportunity, it's a great time. Yeah.
Yeah. What Web3 or blockchain projects you following now?
I would say that I'm very interested in not like a particular project, but like what certain trends will do to the market and how they will change the market. Now, for example, the hottest topic right now is, of course, AI.
Mm-hmm.
And how AI is going to play a role in the blockchain sector. So this is something that I'm very interested in and following, trying to figure out ways how to take advantage of it, of course, and make our business better. So yeah, this may be the biggest trend that I would say I'm currently following and trying to learn more about.
How do you work with your personal brand? We mentioned about this some questions before. So can you explain more about your brand building?
I'm not a marketing person and I'm not like a social media person. So for me, it has always been very hard to have this beautiful social media profiles. There are women that are so talented that is taking these amazing pictures, like, and your videos as well. They're like amazing. And I even wrote you a message when I saw your first YouTube video, like, how did you do that? I remember when I started my YouTube channel, I was kind of sloppy. I just took my phone camera. I didn't have a light ring, and I was just standing next to the door and like taking videos with my phone. Like I wasn't really thinking about aesthetics and stuff like this. But so I'm not that kind of person that is perfect. Let's say that is perfect. And personal branding, I think, has a lot to do with being authentic. All these big influencers that have this beautiful Instagram profiles, they're great, but they're also trying to be authentic. And I think that's the reason why they have so many followers. Maybe in the first place, people will look and say, what a beautiful profile, I want to click on it. But then they stay because of the quality of the content, of the story that this person is telling. So also being authentic. And building a personal brand, first of all, to come back to your question, so important nowadays. I don't think that, especially in the blockchain space, I don't think that you can be successful if you don't have a personal brand, if you don't have some kind of following, some kind of a network. I don't see how this is possible because the blockchain space is so like built on collaboration and cooperation that you need to have a network.
Yeah.
And to have a network, you need to have a personal brand to push your profile, to push your persona, go to conferences, go to events, meet people. You have to have a podcast or a YouTube channel or whatever. This is a great way to meet people. So personal brand is super important, but the way it looks like is very individual. So you don't have to be this perfect, pretty lady. See also all these like models that are now in the blockchain, right? Like not like a professional model, but like these super pretty girls that I don't know, they are now head of partnerships for someone. Something like this. And I'm like, okay, I'm not like this, I will never be, I have never been, but that's okay. You don't have to be like this. You can just create your own branding, your own thing, your own, the way you look, that's your thing. And I think personal branding also has to do with being just putting yourself out there. Because we had at EkoLance, we had a session about this, LinkedIn and personal branding. And a lot of people are like, but I'm an introvert. Like, how do I do that? And I have to say, I'm also an introvert, but I know how important public speaking and putting yourself out there is. And that's why I do it. It's not because, well, I do actually have fun when I'm speaking on stage, because you don't speak to someone, you're speaking on stage, right? Like you're also kind of alone.
Yes.
So that's why actually it's also for introverts, if you see it from that perspective. So being an introvert doesn't hinder you in having a strong personal brand, in being popular online. And I think this is something people have to just know and realize, and just go for it, just go for it. And try out, because even if you're not the prettiest one, or you don't have the best camera or the best lighting or the best voice or whatever, people might like you. And it's about the content and the authenticity. So personal branding is very important, and I encourage everyone to try and get people to follow you on social media and broaden your network through that.
Do you use some mediums except LinkedIn, for example, in your personal brand building?
Yes, I use Instagram. I don't have many followers. I have like 500 followers. So it's not like it's doing anything for me. But I love it because I like videos, and I take a lot of stories, and I then sometimes I use the stories also for LinkedIn, the stories that I took on Instagram. But I would say that LinkedIn is the main profile where I invest my time in, and where I really get something out of, also invitations for conferences or for blog, for podcasts and things like this.
Thank you very much. And now we will talk about very pleasant topic about rest and about recharging. How do you rest?
Okay, now I have to be careful what I answer here. Oh, actually, how do I rest? Now, I don't want people to judge me here. I'm gonna be very honest. Don't judge me. I like watching trash TV.
Which trash TV?
Or like trashy reality shows.
Oh.
Like The Real Housewives of something, for example. Something like this. Because first of all, I think it's fun. Like it's some drama of other people that I can have fun with. And at the same time, I don't have to think about it. It's not a problem that I have to solve, or, something that is like mentally exhausting or something. It's very light and fun. So this is how I rest, I would say. So when I had an exhausting day, I don't go to the gym or something like this. I lay in bed and watch like a trashy reality show.
I understand you, because sometimes I like to watch some cooking shows, like Master Chef or something like this. And I'm in love with food. I'm in love to watch how people cook. And it's also so funny for me. And I understand that, oh my God, you're watching for creepy show, but it's stupid maybe, but it's recharging. So I understand you, and nothing special in this, I think.
But there are these people, like this high performer, I call them, that say, oh, then I go to the gym after I work for 15 hours, and then I do spinning.
Yes,
No.
yes, and then go to McDonald's, for example.
Yeah, but no, with me, it's nothing like that.
Yeah, thank you very much. And the last question about women in Web3. Which advice can you give the women who want to enter this sphere?
Well, the same advice as I would give to men actually, because I don't really think that there's any difference. Maybe women think it's so complicated. I don't know. The advice would be just start, because the best thing about Web3 is that you don't have to have a background in something specific. So, for example, you don't have to be a tech person, you don't have to be a finance person, you can be anything. And there are nowadays so many amazing channels where you can educate yourself. So for me, the blockchain industry has the potential to become something very large, where there are going to be a lot of jobs and a lot of opportunities. And there's still not a lot of people that understand it, the technology and the industry. So for me, this is a great opportunity for anyone who wants to have a long-term career and job opportunities to get into this space. So I would just advise anyone to not think too much about how complicated it is and all the complicated terms around it, because every beginning is difficult. It's like starting a new job. Just start, take your time, don't stress yourself, because I know this industry is like 24/7, very, very, could be exhausting, with all the news and like
Yes,
Discord and
FOMO
Telegram, all
every
the
time.
messages. Yeah. But just don't let this get to you, because they're real people participating in this industry and no one is working 24/7 a day. So yeah, just be patient with yourself and just try it, see if this is something for you, and don't be scared of the complicated terms and the first like complicated impression that blockchain makes.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, Maria, for your experience, for sharing your thoughts, and for funny moments in our interview. Thank you very much for your time. And guys, I'm sure you were happy with us all this time. So please follow this channel, like this video. I will add Maria's social media in description, so you can go and follow her on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and she has her own YouTube channel. So don't be shy to subscribe all mediums. Thank you for watching us, and see you next videos. Bye.
Thank you, Daria. Bye.